Hey Moonies, welcome to the Sailor Moon Fan Club podcast. I'm your host, Victoria L. Johnson, and I'm here with Ariel Dannielle. She's an amazing artist with a solo exhibition at the Museum of Contemporary Art of Georgia, or MOCAGA, and it's really awesome to talk to her. Like, she has an exhibit, so I'm really hyped. Hey Ariel.
Hi. I want to say it's Mocha GA.
Oh, I had a feeling I was saying it wrong.
I don't want you to have that in there and then someone to be like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Should I redo it or?
I don't know. It could be fun to keep it in.
Yeah, I'll keep it in.
Okay.
I've been to Atlanta once, so I feel like that's fair. No, actually twice, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's totally fine. It's totally fine.
I'm like, how bad was it that I got it wrong? Okay, I'll keep it in. That's fun.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, speaking of people who make a lot of mistakes, Sailor Moon. Reason we're here. What's your first memory of watching Sailor Moon?
I don't really have a first memory of watching it. I just have a first memory of loving it, which sounds really weird, but I just remember being in elementary school, and my best friend at the time, her name was Savannah, and we both just loved Sailor Moon. That's like my first memory of it. And I remember we made a little book where we drew Sailor Moon characters, and we would like share it. Like, she would take it home and do her little drawings and then bring it to school, and then I would take it home and do my little drawings. That's like my earliest memory. So I don't know, how old are you in elementary school? I don't even know, but I was pretty young.
Right, so like 5 to I think 10.
Yeah, I'm thinking I was probably like 9 or something. And I remember she was way better at drawing than me at the time. So I just loved whenever she would take the book home and draw out the characters. But yeah, that's my first memory.
That's cool. Do you remember what channel?
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't remember. I'm like, it was so long ago, so young.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I had another guest, and she was basically saying like she just doesn't remember exactly watching it, but she just remembers having this really good feeling about it and just like always liking it. So it kind of feels like it's where you are.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you still have any of those sketchbooks?
I asked my mom, and she was like, she has no idea what happened to them. So, no. And I remember keeping them for a while because I remember being like in middle school and going back and looking at it and feeling like really like happy about it, just the memories of that time. But it sucks because a lot of the stuff that I was really obsessed with as a kid, I don't know if my mom just sold it in yard sales or like what happened to it, because I have a really obsessive personality, so when I like something, I like it. And I was like obsessed with Archie comic books and Spice Girls. I had all that stuff, and now it's just all gone. So all my Sailor Moon stuff has just disappeared too. I don't know.
Oh man,
it's so weird. I'm like, where is this stuff going? Into a vortex somewhere?
Yeah, I do feel like some of my stuff magically disappeared too, and I always wonder where it
went. Right. I'm like, what happened to all this stuff I used to collect? I feel like my mom just would throw it away after she thought I was over it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, but I didn't know. That's so cool. You're also into the Spice Girls. I love the Spice Girls so much.
Spice Girls all day. I had the video game, the dolls, the movie. Like, that was my personality type. Just, I want everything that has to do with whatever I'm obsessed with. So I'm like, what happened to all that stuff?
Did you have a Spice Girl that you liked the most?
Of course. Okay, so here's the thing. It changed all the time. I was either like really into Posh or really into Scary Spice. I just really liked how like sleek and like sexy Posh was, but then obviously Scary was the black girl, and representation, the big curly hair. I loved her outfit, so it always just bounced between those two characters for me.
That's so cool. Those are my exact ones too. Because Posh's name was Victoria, so I was just like,
oh wow,
that's me. And she just seemed really cool. And then of course Scary also, because she also seemed really cool, and she was black.
Yeah. She was already just calling her own, but it's like, you always want to be like, that one's me. Mm-hmm. So that was probably another reason too. And I always wanted just big curly hair like hers. It was so pretty.
Yeah, it was. Man, Archie's cool too. I really like Archie. I used to always read them in the grocery aisles, but I never like asked my parents to buy me one. But I would always like, as we were waiting, I would just like kind of read a little bit and then just like sadly put it back.
I have just the best memories of whenever I would go to the grocery store with my mom. Whenever we were in checkout line, I would ask her to buy me an Archie comic book, and she usually did. Like, I remember I had a box, like a crate. I got to a point where I had so many Archie comic books, I had to store them in like this crate, because I was just so obsessed. And then that crate disappeared.
Man,
nowhere to be found.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, not that everything's like has to do with money, but like some of those things would probably be worth a lot of money now.
I told my mom that. I was like, I bet you all those Archie comic books could be worth something now, but I'm almost certain she threw them away. Yeah. I had so many good times, and that was another thing that I used to draw their characters too. That was a little hobby of mine.
Did you have a favorite?
I really liked Betty, even though I feel like in the comic book, like they made Veronica seem like she was so like cool and like sexy, but I always just like felt bad for Betty because Veronica would always just come in and like take Archie's attention from her, and I was like, but Betty really loves Archie.
True.
Yeah.
Very true. Yeah.
I always felt bad for her, but yes, it was Betty for me.
Yeah. Do you watch Riverdale at all?
I did until it just started getting weird, but I did in the beginning. Yeah. They kind of lost me after a while. It was like the musical episodes were starting to lose me, but yeah, I did, and it's the same thing. Like Veronica was just the one that Archie wanted, even though Betty and him had this weird dynamic where they would kiss sometimes, and I'm like, but what about Veronica? And what about Jughead? Isn't that your boyfriend now? It was, yeah. Very much all over the place.
Yeah, it is. I also started watching it, and then I stopped. At some point, I can't even remember.
I can't even remember either when I decided, I'm not interested in continuing.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people. They're like, this show just got like way off.
Yeah, it just fell off. I don't know what happened really, but yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, the new comics are pretty good. I don't know if you've had a chance to read any of those.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they're pretty good. And I think another Sailor Moon fan draws them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
it's
cool.
Pretty good. I'm forgetting. I'm blanking out her name right now. I think it's Fiona Staples who does Saga. I'm pretty sure. Anyway.
I'll have to look. I'm assuming they don't sell them at Kroger anymore. I feel like that's like an old thing.
I think, well, they don't sell these new ones because they're more like traditional comics. I don't know. I guess those are also traditional comics, but like the long, bigger ones.
Got it. Yeah.
Not the So I came across them. They're like on Amazon or comic book stores.
I'm gonna have to do that because that would be very nostalgic.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, they changed the art, and like she did an interview explaining how like much she felt like weird, like being the first person to kind of change the art style a little bit.
That's pressure.
And just, like, the weight of it. Yeah, but I think she did a good job.
Oh man, I have to look now. You're like really intriguing me.
Yeah, so. I'll send you the link. I'll drop it in the
please
thing below if anyone's interested.
Please, yes, I would love that.
Well, so we talked about your favorite Archie characters and your favorite Spice Girl. Who is your favorite Sailor Scout or Senshi?
Okay, so it is Jupiter, and it was always Sailor Jupiter. So, and I didn't remember this because it was so long ago until I started rewatching it for the podcast. Well, I didn't rewatch it for the podcast. I think this just made me be like, oh, I want to start Sailor Moon over from the beginning. And I didn't realize how much I loved Sailor Jupiter until I started rewatching again. It's like all these feelings came back from like childhood. It's crazy because I thought that it was Sailor Moon just because she was the main character, but it's Sailor Jupiter for sure. And I remember it's because there's two reasons. One, very basic reason is because she had dark hair, and I never really was into the fact that Sailor Moon was just like this blonde girl. Like, I don't know, something about, I just wanted her to look more like, not, you know, look more, I wanted her to look a little different, you know. So Sailor Jupiter for that reason, but then I love that she was tall, and they were always calling her a giant and stuff like that. But growing up, I was always the tallest one in my friend group. So I also related to her because of that. And she was just strong and tall and badass. They're all badass, but yeah. So Jupiter for sure.
Yeah, Jupiter's such a classic favorite, I think. I have a secret theory that I feel like a lot of Black women love Sailor Jupiter because, like you said, the brown hair.
Yeah.
There's like kind of like that connection, but also just because she's just so badass.
Yeah, she really is. And I love that she was just like tall and just didn't care. People calling her giant and all that. And she's like, whatever, I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah,
Love
Jupiter
her.
the Stallion.
Literally. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you talk about that a few times on the podcast, just like how it's so cool that she's like, she can fight, but she can also like make you cookies.
Oh yeah,
like,
and she cooks so well.
yeah.
The food looks so good. I love the way
Right.
food looks in animes. It
Oh
always
my
makes
God.
me hungry. So that's
Same.
another thing that's really great about her.
Yeah, it's just like she just can do it all.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah. Well, how did you get into art?
Well, I always just liked doing creative things ever since I was young, like drawing and stuff
Mhm.
like that was something I did for fun, but I didn't really know that I was going to pursue art until like college. I didn't even really want to go to college because I never liked school, and I think I relate to Osagi in that way because school was never my thing. Um, so I knew if I had to go to college because my parents wanted me to get a degree that I was going to have to major in something creative. That was the only way I was probably going to stick with it and finish school, is if it was something that was in the creative field. So I didn't realize until after I had to test out different things like watercolor and drawing and graphic design and stuff like that, because you have to do all those electives before you can pick your major. And then I took painting classes and realized that painting was something I was really into, and like it turned into this whole passion. So it was very much gradual for me. It I didn't know until then.
That's cool. Forgive my ignorance on this, but I want to ask, like, what's your favorite materials? I think that you like to use.
Yeah, you
Does
can
that make...
materials, medium.
Right. Okay. I was gonna say medium, but I was like, is that? Did he
Yeah.
answer that? Is it painting?
Yeah, it's either one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I use acrylic paint, so that's my jam. That's my favorite medium. Uh, Oil was my first like love, but acrylic just became what worked best for the style of painting I do, and the fact that I have ADHD, and oils take very long to dry, and they just take way longer to complete an oil painting than an acrylic painting, and I found that out while I was in school. So acrylic took over my love for oil. So that's my medium.
Nice. That is super cool. Yeah, I can tell. I was looking a bit at the solo exhibition you have, and it looked like oil, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people tell me that a lot, and I think it's just because I started with oil, so I kind of paint in an oil painting
Mm-hmm.
way, but with acrylics because they're just so much faster.
And I really like the exhibit too. So, and I love the name. It started so simple. It reminds me of Lauryn Hill.
Oh,
You know,
you're the
it could
first
all
person to
be
say
so
that.
simple. Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Someone else was like, it sounds like a Drake album. And I was like, it kind of does.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But what was the inspiration behind that?
Well, it's because it's very literal. When I first got the opportunity to do the solo exhibition, the world was regular, like normal, you know, it wasn't a shitstorm, if you will. So when I first started the paintings for the exhibition, they were just simple in the concept. Like I have a painting of me at a restaurant eating sushi. I have a painting of me in my bedroom doing my makeup. Those were the first concepts, but then as the year went on and things really just got crazy, the concepts were starting to get a little more serious. Like I have a couple paintings about Black Lives Matter movement, and then I have a painting about COVID. And so that's why I titled it Start So Simple, because the whole exhibition truly started so simple, and then it didn't in the end.
That is cool. It's so funny how like it's just like a realistic
yeah, it's very literal. I was racking my brain forever trying to come up with a name, because I remember the people at the museum had to ask me more than once to send them the name, and I was just like, I just don't know what this show means anymore. The meanings just kept changing. So that's, in the end, that's what I came up with.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's your favorite piece, or do you have one?
That's tough. I don't have like a top favorite. I really tend to gravitate towards large paintings in general, not just in my own, but with other artists. I just really like portraits that are like huge. So the red painting, the I Dream of Crimson Nights, that's one of my favorite ones. And then the one where I'm doing makeup in my bedroom, which I'm forgetting the name of, but it's based off of Euphoria. That's my second favorite.
Euphoria, the TV show?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that show so much.
Me too. That's why I literally I feel like Euphoria had such a huge impact on like just women, and not just women, but I don't know, it just had a huge impact. And I think the style of it and the makeup and everything, it just made me want to do a painting about how that made me feel. And ever since then, I've been doing glitter and rhinestones and every time I do a makeup look, because it was just like iconic is the only word I can think of. So yeah, that's what that painting is based off of.
I totally see it too, with like the purple and like you putting on makeup, and like, yeah, I just associate that show a lot with purple, probably because like the opening theme I think is purple.
Yeah, and just like whenever Rue would take Rue, I think it was Rue, whenever she would be on drugs, the at a party, I feel like the colors were always like deep, like purples and blues, and that's always the color scheme I think of when I think of Euphoria.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Did you see the latest special yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet, and I know another one's coming out soon for Jules, I believe. Yeah, I just saw that on Instagram earlier today, and I was like, dang, I need to watch the one with Zendaya. But I've been so locked in as Sailor Moon that I haven't been watching anything else. It's really taken my whole attention, because I'm like, oh, this show is so good, and I'm like, I can't believe it's been so long since I watched it.
I have a theory that the creator is a Sailor Moon fan, because they mention it like twice in the show.
I could see that being a thing. I mean, like, who isn't? I feel like who's not really a fan? I don't know anyone who, if you like, what do you think about Sailor Moon? They're like, I hate it. I've never heard that.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like most people, they're either unfamiliar with it.
Yeah.
And I've heard people who make assumptions on it but haven't watched it. But I don't know anyone who's watched all of it and hates it still.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's so true.
I don't see much to hate about it.
There really isn't, unless you're a hater.
That's true. I mean, I do get frustrated with Usagi a lot when she just cries, and like, you know, she is a crybaby. So I'm like, oh my God, get it together and start fighting. But other than that, that's like the only thing that annoys me is when she's like being a crybaby.
Yeah, that's understandable. I think it does get annoying. But someone mentioned too, like, she is 14.
True. They were all so young.
Yeah.
But they did make her look like the biggest baby out of all of them.
Absolutely. Everyone else was like,
Yeah.
all right, we got this. And she was just like,
just screaming, crying. They're like, get it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, she was a middle schooler.
Right, yeah. What else do you stand? So we talked about Spice Girls and Archie and Sailor Moon. This could be like anything, like TV shows, Beyonce, you know, music artists, other music artists, comics.
What do I? That's a good question. Like, what do I stand? I get so obsessive about things, and it lasts for a while. I've been really obsessed with Nicole Byer for like a full year. Do you know who Nicole Byer is?
Yeah. Wait. So you're talking about the comedian, right?
Yeah, the comedian.
Yeah, I think she has like a Facebook show, or she did.
She did. Yeah. Like forever ago, she had a Facebook show, and
she's also a Sailor
she
Moon
has.
fan? Sorry.
Yeah, she is, and she has her podcast. Why Won't You Date Me? And she does Nailed It, the cooking competition on Netflix. I support anything and everything she does. I'm obsessed with her. I think she's so funny. She's just the best. I bought her book. She came out with a book this year where it's just about wearing bikinis, and it has the longest title, but it's like how to be fat and brave in a bikini or something like that. And she's just iconic. So I would say I've been standing her a lot in the past year. Like anything she does, I'm right there for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally get that. I really want to get her on the podcast because she's really funny.
She's hilarious. I love her personality. Like, I just want to be her friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I watched a few episodes of that Facebook show, and it was also really funny.
Yeah, she's so funny. I just love her personality. I literally listen to every podcast she's ever put out. I listen to it. And she has a podcast with her best friend called Best Friends. And I've listened to every episode of that. So, like I said earlier, when I like something, I'm like obsessive about it. So
yeah,
she's it for me right now.
Nice. That's cool. I love that. Especially like Moonies standing Moonies.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. That's awesome. I wasn't expecting that either. I love the answer I'm not expecting.
Really? I like really, when I rack my brain of what I'm obsessed with, it's hard because it's like usually just like one thing I'll really be obsessed with for a while, and then it'll move to the next thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's not like a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh wait, what was the last thing you were obsessed with? Do you remember?
But before I was obsessed with Nicole Byer, who was I obsessed with? I think I do get obsessed with like you know what? It's funny. I would have to say like Euphoria. I was about to say like aesthetics. And I think there was a long period where Euphoria was like my jam. Like I'm still to this day like really into the character who plays Maddie, Alexa Demi.
I think that's right.
I'm obsessed with her. I just stalk her Instagram. Think she's just gorgeous, and I love her in Euphoria. I really think before Nicole Byer, I was obsessed with Euphoria. Like I watched it twice, the season twice, and listened to the soundtrack. I've been obsessed with Zendaya. Like she's doing her thing.
Oh yeah,
her thing. So yeah, it was probably Euphoria because like I said, I still put rhinestones on my face now, and I have like glittery eyeshadow. That show had an impact just on my style in general too.
I love that. Yeah, that show I'm also obsessed. Like when I saw the new specials coming out, I was like, everything needs to stop. Like this is happening.
Yeah, this is happening right now.
Yeah. This is what I'm watching on this day. Like nobody bother me.
It's funny because I was the same way. I was like, ooh, I'm watching this the minute it comes out. But then I started watching Sailor Moon, and then I was like, I don't have time for anything else right now. I have to find out what's going to happen next.
Right.
Yes. So I'm like neglecting Euphoria now.
Man, I get it. Sailor Moon is very addictive.
It is.
And it's really good.
So I guess that's my new addiction because I just can't. I don't know how to balance more than one. So Euphoria is like on the back burner now, and it's Sailor Moon.
I mean, hey, only 200 episodes.
I know, right? Like, I literally have so many. I'm on episode 48 right now, so I have so many more to go.
Oh, wait, it's kind of fresh in your head-ish from these episodes that we watched, or if you remember from before, like, do you have any favorite episodes or favorite moments so far?
Uh, yes, tragic, but I do. Okay, when Sailor Moon slash Princess Serenity
Mm-hmm.
and Tuxedo Mask finally remembered their past together. That was like an iconic moment for me, even though it was so short lived because right after they remembered their past lives and their love for each other and everything, he gets sucked away and his memory gets sucked away. And I'm like, wow, I really got to enjoy that for like 2 whole seconds of them realizing they loved each other, even though it was also awkward since Sailor Mars was like dating him.
Right.
Very strange dynamic, but she ended up being cool with it. They very quickly pushed in a new love interest for her, so we wouldn't feel bad for her for too long.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say because the whole, like, I guess not the whole season, but for that chunk of the season where the viewer finally realizes that they're like soulmates, you're just waiting for them to realize it. So that was a moment for me. I was like, oh my god, finally, their memories. And then they take him away, and he's like a robot for the dark world. And I'm like, great.
I love that interpretation.
I was really just like, what? They really just gave us that and then took him away so quickly. But now I'm at the point on Sailor season 2 where now Sailor Moon has her memory back, but no one else does yet.
Oh yeah.
I'm still waiting for. I'm like, can everyone please remember everything? So I couldn't believe that that's how they ended the first season, where everyone just has to be reincarnated. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm. Everyone loses their memories.
Yeah. I was like, what? They did all this and they're not even gonna remember it. So now I'm on edge, waiting for everyone else to get their memories restored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
So good.
What other anime do you like? I think you mentioned earlier that you like anime.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My love for Death Note has been restored again. Before this, I started rewatching it. I pretty much finished it, but I stopped after, I guess, spoiler if no one's watched Death Note. I stopped after L died.
Right.
Because I don't know, it just didn't feel the same after he killed, after Light killed L. I was just like, oh my gosh. Did I just spoil it for you?
Yeah,
oh
no,
my
you're
god,
good.
I didn't even ask.
You're completely fine.
I've assumed you've seen it.
Yeah. And I feel like it's been out long enough.
Yeah, so, right. This is my third time rewatching it because I really think it's like my favorite anime. But this is the first time where I stopped after Elle died because I was just like, it's not the same. I really just love their dynamic. That's what really carried the show for me. So yeah, I would say that's top. But also, I hate that I'm blanking on this. I'm fully having a brain. Crap. What? Okay. What's the anime where? Oh no! When it's like the cooking one where.
Food Wars.
Yes, Food Wars. Okay. Food Wars. See, you remember it so quickly. That one. Oh my god! It makes me laugh so hard whenever someone takes a bite of food and like their clothes just rip off and they're like floating in the air, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I think I'm like on. I'm pretty deep in there. I don't even know what season I'm on right now, but that was my first time watching that like last year. And I was like, this is just good entertainment. And then I also just really love food. And like I said earlier, I love the way food looks in animes. So that one's just right up my alley. Yeah. But then I also grew up watching like Studio Ghibli movies.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Ghibli or Ghibli? I feel like
I never know.
Yeah, I always feel like I'm saying it wrong, but I mean, those are always the most iconic ones for me. Like I think Ponyo and Spirited Away, or Ponyo, Spirited Away, and Kiki's Delivery Service. Those were like the first three I ever saw, and I wish I could remember which was the first one I ever saw. It might have been Kiki's Delivery Service, but I still rewatch those a lot because they just put them on HBO Max.
Yeah. I've been meaning to do like a mini marathon with myself because they're so good.
They're so good. And Princess Mononoke, so good.
Have you seen Howl's Moving Castle?
Oh my God, that was the next one I was gonna say. I was blanking. I've seen that one like 4 times in the last I don't even know 2 years. I watched that one over and over. So good.
Yeah, that one, Spirited Away, and Kiki's Delivery Service are my favorites.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, and also same with Death Note. I end once Elle dies.
Do you really? So it's not just me. I felt bad doing it this time because, like I said, this is the first time I stopped. But I didn't finish the whole thing, but I was just like, I don't feel the need to finish it now that Elle's gone.
Yeah, when I first watched it, my friend was like, stop at this episode. And of course I continued on because I was like,
you want to know.
I want to know. But now after that, I got what he was saying. And I think it is like a better ending.
Yeah,
like, it's
right?
a nice, like, it's done.
You know? I'm like, I'm fulfilled from this, even though it sucks that Elle had to die, I guess. I guess depending on your perspective, because I know some people watching might really be rooting for Light and were happy that Elle died, but I didn't want either one of them to die. I was rooting for them both in a weird way.
Same. Yeah, I think I wanted Light to maybe be redeemed.
Yeah.
And then for Elle to just continue on being amazing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, can they both just like live on in their own ways? Yeah, but I will. What were you gonna say?
It was like, or be like a joint detective team.
Yeah, like come together in the end because it was like Elle weirdly did like Light, you know? Right. Like he even said that he felt like they were like best friends in the weirdest way because he was still like trying to catch him at the same time. So strange. But I will say that my favorite anime, even though I feel like it's like controversial because it's very much like whitewashed now, but Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, I don't think it's controversial.
You don't?
No, I mean the live movie. Action is horrible.
Oh my God.
But the actual show, the animated show, I think people love it.
I think that's probably my favorite one, period. I rewatched it when they put it on Netflix, and that was one that I watched a lot growing up. Another like obsession phase I had was with The Last Airbender. And I really just couldn't believe how good, I'm like, this show still holds up, and I am grown as hell. And I'm like, the final episode, I'm over here crying. Like, I was like, I love Avatar: Last Airbender. And then I proceeded to try to watch the live action one.
Oh, gosh.
And when I tell you, I got maybe 3 minutes in, and I had to turn it off.
Yeah, it's really bad.
So bad.
It's so bad.
So bad. But I believe, that's why I was like, I don't know if it's controversial or not, but I believe the creators of Avatar: Last Airbender are all like white men.
Yeah, they are.
Crazy.
Yeah, I could see how that would be controversial, but from what I've never heard anyone criticize them for creating the show. No,
it's such a good show. Yeah, the most drama I've had is like because of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
So disappointing.
Yeah. Then the new Netflix show kind of got a little bit of drama too because they like stepped away because apparently there were creative differences and like Netflix is trying to like age up all the characters and like add more adult themes, and people are like, no, this is not Avatar. Like, what are you doing?
What like keep the classic. Keep the characters. Let this, yeah. But I would have to say that's probably my still favorite, even as an adult from childhood, is Avatar.
Yeah, no, it's amazing for sure.
So good.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for anyone who wants to be an artist or get their own solo exhibition one day?
Of course. It's funny because I used to DM artists that I looked up to on Instagram, asking them for advice and stuff, and now I'm getting DMs from artists asking for advice, and I'm like, I'm not even like there yet. Like, I'm still very much a newbie in this world. But I would say, and I bring this up because when I would DM people, sometimes they wouldn't respond, and I'm like, maybe they're just getting too many questions from artists being like, how did you get here? But for me, it just really comes down to have a purpose behind your work, have a passion for what you're creating, and just keep creating and keep practicing, because that's what worked for me. Like, once I realized what mattered to me, like in general in my life, and I turned that into adding it to paintings and a career, and kept practicing, because my art now does not look like how it looked like 6 years ago. It really, practice makes perfect, as cliche as that is, it's true. So I would just say keep working nonstop and have like a passion behind whatever you're creating, whether it's like your painting or your photographer or anything like that. Just if you have a love for it and you keep at it, I think it just works out. It will.
Yeah, yeah. I would say like cliche phrases becomes cliche because it's like true. Like people say it over and over again because it's just like inherently true.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I remember hearing it when I was younger and being like, yeah, okay, whatever. Right. But it really is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then so I don't know if you remember. I'm going to send you this after. We kind of talked about this before, but just like Sailor Moon, at the end of the original dub version, she had her Sailor Moon Says phrase. At the end of every episode, she would give like a little PSA to the listeners or viewers. What would yours be? So Sailor Ariel says.
Jeez Louise.
And it can be anything. Like people say silly things. People say nice things.
I would say, we got this. Those are my words.
I like it.
Short and sweet. We got this.
Yeah, I feel inspired, honestly.
Oh, well. Yeah. That's what I aim to do in a way. We got this. And whoever you are, you're included in it. We got this.
Love it. And what's next for you? Where can people find you?
You can just check me out on Instagram. That's where I'm the most active, I guess, when it comes to knowing what's up with me. I'll be doing some shows in New York and other places. Just check me out on Instagram. My Instagram is BYARI Dannielle DANNIELLE.
Awesome. And thank you for coming on the show. This was awesome. This is so much fun.
Of course. I love it. I could talk about anime and all this like forever. So I was really excited when you reached out.
Yeah, same. I could talk about Sailor Moon and other anime and just all the things forever. Euphoria and Archie and Spice Girls. Like all of it.
It's so much good content out there, you know.
Yeah, just like constantly absorbing like everything.
Yeah.
Just so many good things. The art is amazing.
Or are you talking about me or the anime?
Yeah, your art.
Oh.
Your art, sorry. Well, that too. Anime art is
Because I'm like,
awesome.
anime art is amazing.
Yeah. No.
I have to kind of give anime props for starting my love for drawing, because that's what started it, was me drawing Sailor Moon and Archie.
Right, yeah. It's so true. Look where you are now.
Shout out to anime.
Yeah. And I think your exhibit is open till January 16th.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know what? I put January 21st on Instagram earlier today, but it is the 16th. Wow, I need to change that.
Yeah. It's fun. I just literally like looked it up before this, so that's
amazing. Yeah, I don't know why I keep thinking the 21st, but yes, the 16th.
No worries.
Check it out online. You can watch the virtual tour in my bio on Instagram if anyone's interested. Ooh. Since, COVID, they have a virtual tour.
Yeah, and I'll drop the link in the podcast description as well.
Please do.
Yeah. And thanks so much for listening, guys. Once again, I am Victoria L. Johnson, and this is the Sailor Moon Fan Club podcast, and we are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, pretty much everywhere you can stream podcasts. You can find us on Twitter at Moonies Club and Instagram at Moonies_Club. And then we have merch now at mooniesclub.com. So if you want some Sailor Moon merch, you can go over there and get some merch.
Yeah. I gotta do that. I want some Sailor Moon merch.
Yeah, do it.
I will. I will.
Yeah, we got this.
We got this. I love that.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, Moonies.